back to Judge the Jump. We are your presenters. My name is Kate Gutschall.
And I'm Aubrey Chestnut. Let's bring out our contestants.
Our first contestant number 1, has been jumping for 15 years. She has competed at the national level and won 5 world titles.
Our second contestant has been jumping for 1 year. This is her first competition. Let's judge those jumps!
As we can see on the screen, these are the main muscles of the lower leg. When jumping off the ground, the feet, ankles, and calves are using dorsiflexion and plantar flexion to lift the body and land. As we can see, the main muscles that perform the dorsiflexion and plantar flexion are the soleus, fibularis longus, gastrocnemius, the medial and lateral malleolus, and the tibialis anterior.
To start the jump, the gastrocnemius and soleus contract to generate force. In the ankle joint, the calf muscles like the soleus and fibularis longus extend, pushing the foot off the ground, using the ball of the foot in plantar flexion.
While in the air, the calf muscle relaxes for just a moment, but the ankle shifts into a slightly dorsiflexed position where it will prepare to land.
The feet touch down and the calves and ankles take the shock while the tibialis anterior controls the foot. The ankle goes into dorsiflexion when the toes hit the ground because the foot rolls from the ball of the foot to the heel.
Contestant number 2 is very obviously struggling.
Moving to the upper leg, the quadriceps femoris is in the large muscle group in the front of your thigh that plays a crucial role in each part of the jump.
During this, the quadriceps contract, allowing for the extension of the knee. This helps to push the body off the ground. While pushing off the ground, the rectus femoris, iliacus, psoas, and sartorius muscles are contracting to help with the knee extension, and as well as hip flexion to stabilize throughout the jump.
The iliacus and psoas are used in the air to maintain hip flexion and keep the thighs and legs positioned correctly in the air.
During the landing, the quadricep muscle lengthens, so when you land, it absorbs all the shock and reduces the impact on the joints. The rectus femoris aids in absorbing the landing and controlling the knee flexion. As we can see from contestant number 2, her hips do lie.
Shakira.
As we continue up the body, we can see the hips generating the power to jump and then allowing the body to stabilize as it returns to the ground.
Before the jump, the gluteus maximus contracts to prepare to extend for push-off. At this time, the hip abductors and adductors stabilize the legs as the knees bend. The hip flexors also work to generate the force to jump during this time. Pro tip: strong hip flexors produce more power, leading to a higher and more controlled jump.
To take off from the ground, the gluteus maximus continues to contract and extends the hips to lift the rest of the body. The rest of the leg is not active in the air, but the glutes help stabilize the hips to prepare for landing.
In the landing phase, the hips and surrounding muscles' biggest job is stabilization and absorption of force. To land, the gluteus maximus controls the hip as the body absorbs the force of the landing. To maintain stability, the hip flexors and iliopsoas, rectus femoris, and sartorius adjust to the correct position needed to land, which usually is shoulder length apart. Continuing on, we reach the abdominal muscles such as the transverse abdominis, internal and external obliques, rectus abdominis, and the pectoralis major. The ab muscles are mostly used for stabilization while jump roping.
So to begin the jump, all of the muscles listed will go through a contraction where they generate force without changing in length. The transverse abdominis and rectus abdominis help to keep the spine stable as you jump off the ground. The internal and external obliques help to stabilize the torso and help to avoid any unwanted side-to-side movement. The pectoralis major stabilizes the shoulder joint during the arm rotation when you're actively turning the rope.
While in the air, the muscles keep the same job of stabilizing the torso and keeping an upright posture. The pectoralis major works with the upper arm muscles to coordinate shoulder movement as needed.
During the landing, the transverse abdominis and rectus abdominis muscles help to absorb the shock of the landing and keep the spine and pelvis in alignment. The obliques keep the body stabilized where there are uneven landings or fatigue, and the pectoralis major does not play a major role in the landing process other than to support the arm and shoulder control. As we can see here, the main muscles in the arm are the brachioradialis and the palmaris longus.
Beginning the jump, the brachioradialis stabilizes the elbow joint. It helps slightly to keep the elbow flexed while the wrist begins to rotate the rope. The palmaris longus helps to tense the palmar fascia and flex in the wrist. This helps with grip in the flick of the wrist. The flexor carpi radialis helps to flex and abduct the wrist. This contributes to the rope's motion. The flexor carpi ulnaris assists in flexing and adducting the wrist. It also balances wrist position and stabilization. The flexor digitorum flexes the fingers to maintain a firm grip on the rope.
In the air, the brachioradialis and the palmaris longus stabilize the elbow and maintain grip on the rope while jumping. The flexor carpi radialis and ulnaris maintains wrist position as the rope swings under and around, the wrist slightly stays flexed. The flexor digitorum helps to maintain finger flexion to keep the grip.
During the landing, the brachioradialis stabilizes the forearm and the elbow, as well as preventing excess elbow extension, keeping the arm controlled to go on to the next rotation. The palmaris longus continues to support the wrist and keep the grip to ensure a smooth rotation into the next jump. The flexor carpi radialis and ulnaris control any small movements in the wrist. They adjust the positioning during the landing. The flexor digitorum holds the grip steady. This is important when transitioning quickly from landing into the next jump. The wrist, hand, and finger muscles and the joints play a huge role in the motion of the rope. In the anatomical position, the wrists are in extension and the metaphalangeal and interphalangeal joints flex to grip the handles of the rope. The flexor digitorum muscles' isometric grip maintain stabilization.
When the swing of the rope starts, the wrists circumduct, which allows for the circular motion needed to swing the rope. While the rope swings, the proximal and digital interphalangeal joints are flexed along with the flexor pollicis longus. There is a constant pronation or supination as the motion is continued and the wrists circumduct. The muscles in the phalanges are also constantly flexed until the rope is dropped.
As you can see, contestant number 2 didn't even bring a jump rope to the competition.
With all the information we've gathered here today, the winner of the annual jump rope contest is contestant number 1!
Contestant number 1's making it pretty obvious that the win has already boosted her ego even more.
Thank you everyone for tuning in this week and helping us judge that jump!